Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Kelton. I'm the Vice President of Strategy and Development for NC Tech. You're on the Virtual Job Fair 101 webinar with us this afternoon. We are going to share with you a little bit about NC Tech's work in talent acquisition and especially the pivot we made this year from in-person job fairs to virtual job fair. Our friends at Premier Virtual are joining us today, and they will be showing you a demonstration of the virtual job fair platform. We're delighted to have Steve and Jason with us. Premier Virtual is a member of NC Tech and was our partner in our first virtual job fair in May of this year. So this afternoon, we'll give you just the very basics around how a virtual job fair works. I think we're all becoming more and more familiar with virtual meetings and events and now job fairs. A few of our employers that participated in May had never participated in a job fair virtually to date. So I think there's more folks that are familiar with the way that those operate. We'll then pass it over to Steve and Jason to show you what the system looks like from the perspective of an employer and also from the perspective of a job seeker. And then we'll be monitoring the Q&A. So as you have questions, please post them there and we'll try to address them, either questions that have to do specifically about the job fair platform or any questions that you might have about the job fair that we've got coming up. The next Virtual Tech Job Fair scheduled for October 14th. We have about a dozen employers signed up already and several others that are expressing interest. So I know we've got folks on the call this afternoon, those that are already signed up, those that are considering signing up and want to see what it's all about. So before I jump into this slide, to mention just the history of job fairs with NC Tech. We've been hosting job fairs for about a decade now. What we've been doing in the more recent years, we've been hosting 4 in-person job fairs. In the spring, we'll host a job fair in the Triangle and also in Charlotte. And then again in the fall, we'll host a job fair in the Triangle and also in Charlotte. We had spring job fairs planned in both markets. And in March, as things began to move virtual, we very quickly got in touch with Premier Virtual and pivoted our 2 in-person job fairs to a virtual job fair on May 20th. And so we've been really pleased with the feedback and are looking forward to continuing the benefits that a virtual job fair offers. It offers companies an opportunity to participate regardless of where they're located. They can manage interaction with job seekers from an office, from home, mobily. So it definitely meets the need for a lot of employers with the convenience to be able to do that. You can have multiple conversations with job seekers. You have full access to resumes, and so we're excited about the benefits that it offers. So for employers that are interested in participating and haven't yet signed up, you would find all the information, the details about the upcoming job fair at nctech.org. So one of our big banners that rotates on the homepage is advertising the job fair. When you click on that banner, it will take you to a page on our website that has information, including a link to a registration for employers that want to participate. There's information there on what the requirements are and a list of the committed employers to date. So as soon as an employer signs on board, we go ahead and have their logo added to the page, and they become part of the extensive promotion that we do through the media, through our network, on social media, and so forth, as a hiring employer. When you sign up on our website to participate in the job fair, as soon as we receive that, we are quickly in touch with you to provide an employer packet and a link so you can directly access the Premier virtual platform and start setting up your virtual hiring room. You can add recruiters, you can add your company information, social media links, links to your website. You can record a welcome video and so forth. So we'll show you how to do that. Then for employers, you log in the day of the event, and you're able to interact live with job seekers, candidates that are visiting your virtual hiring room. You can chat with them. You can initiate a video chat. So lots of opportunity there. And then you'll have access to reports, resumes, and are able to follow up with the job seekers post-event. This is what it looks like. So if you were having a hard time visualizing what it looks like, this is just a sample graphic. A lot of this you'll be able to see in just a moment on how you can customize for you to showcase your opportunities and your the culture at your company, and you'll have control to add where you see here it says welcome video, IT job trends report, the NC Tech brochure. Those are all unique links that you can send folks to view your career center and different pages of information, or a YouTube video where you might want to relay a specific message to welcome the job seekers and candidates that are visiting your virtual hiring room. So for job seekers, I know we had job seekers and candidates that were registered for this call as well today. A similar process, visit nctech.org. You're going to click on the job fair banner, and that will take you to a page where you're able to see the participating employers to date. You'll want to check back often there. Scroll to the end of the page and you'll see the logos of the companies that are participating. And we've been regularly adding those as more employers sign on. There is a link on our website to job seeker registration. When you click on that, it will take you to the Premier virtual platform, and you're able at that point to be able to customize your own candidate profile. You can upload your resume, you can add a picture, and so forth. And then on the day of the event, anytime between 8:30 and 5 p.m., you can log in and visit the employers. You can do a little bit of research on them. You can interact with representatives and recruiters to learn more about the employers. You can see the job vacancies. Now, many of the employers that participate have job vacancies that they might not have added to the system. So if there's some specific things that you're interested in, definitely engage in chat and interaction with those representatives. And then our hope is that we're able to help you find your next opportunity, and we're able to help employers find great talent to fill the vacancies that they have available. So at this point, I'm going to pass it over to Steve. I think you're going to take the reins and show our viewers what the actual system looks like, and from the perspective of a job seeker who's entering the event, and also from the perspective of an employer who's setting up their virtual hiring room.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everybody to the call. Thanks for jumping on today. My name's Steve Edwards. I'm the CEO of Premier Virtual. Jason Einbinder is on the call as well. Jason is actually based out of Greensboro, North Carolina. So he kind of handles everything up there. I'm just going to go through, show you what a candidate sees so that you can see the flow from a candidate side as well as how to set up all your booth. Now, again, we also have support live all the way up to the event, during the event, and after the event. If you have any questions for setting up your booth or setting up anything, we can do this. One thing I always do want to, let people know is when you are doing this event is make sure you test it the day before or a couple days before, and not the first time you log in 3 minutes before the event and say, oh my gosh, my VPN is blocking, something like that. So just make sure you test it that you can log in and everything like that. So this is what a candidate is going to see. Now, this is the event that happened previously, but I wanted to show you kind of what a candidate is going to be able to see once they log into the event. They come in and they see a list of the companies, so they can go down, look at all the companies, and as a company, you can set up kind of what your booth is going to look like out there. So this is kind of the booth pattern, but your organization that you put in, you don't have to put in a full book. What is exciting about your organization of why when that candidate comes in, why are they going to go even further in your profile? The second thing is the job vacancies. You can put the details in here. You could, the title, the city, the number of vacancies, job description, it's in an HTML format, so you can actually, break it up, make it look a little prettier, put some information in there if you want to put a video in there, if you want to put links in there, a picture, you can do all of that in there as well. And also the candidates can come in, they can view the details, and they can submit their resume. So when they submit their resume, I'm going to show you on the back end of the system that you're going to be able to see that. So you'll know every candidate that visited your hiring room as well as every candidate that submitted their resume to you. These tabs right here, these blue tabs, you can put 3 of them there. This is what do you want to showcase to the companies? Is it maybe some company videos? Is it your website? Is it some different links that you want to say? I used to always say company trips, but now not a lot of people are taking company trips. So I kind of took that away. But, you can put the things out there that you want these candidates if they're doing research. And then you can attach your social media. So if you think about from a candidate standpoint of view, candidates come to a job fair, they want to be able to see what does an organization do? What type of jobs do they have? Can I submit my resume? Do I want to research them a little bit? And then finally, they want to be able to chat with them. So they can come in here and they can start a chat. So now you can see today I've been able to go in and, send some chat messages to organizations. So I can go in and, talk to people. I don't have to just be in one booth as a candidate. I can send you a message. You may be busy with another candidate, but by the time you get back to me, I may be in another booth, but the chat follows them. So even if you don't get right back to a candidate, you can now send them a message even if they're not in your room out there. Now I'm going to go over some of the best practices on, how to, talk to candidates, but I just want to show you the flow. So a candidate can come in, they can look from here, then they can go into another booth right here. If you see, when they set up this one didn't set up any links on there. They just had some job vacancies that they had. So everybody sets it up just a little bit different. But if you think about it, what do you want when that candidate comes in? Do you want them to see a full booth or not everything out there? So I always tell everybody, just put the links on there anyway, because normally a candidate's going to be able to look at something like that. So does anybody have any questions from a candidate standpoint of view? Can we log in anytime during 8-5? Do we need to make appointments with specific employers? You do not need to make appointments. You can log in anytime during that the event is open. All right. So let me just log out of here. All right. Now, from a company standpoint of view, you're going to be able to, you'll register. So once you talk with Michelle and the team there and you register, you're going to register directly through their link. So this is one that I already have set up. So I'm just going to show you that. When it's set up on the registration page, you're just going to, the first time is you're going to click register. You're going to have to register, put your information in it. That person that registers, that's what's technically called the main recruiter. So if you're going to have, one main recruiter and 4 other recruiters, or if just somebody is setting up the marketing, it doesn't matter. That email is a login for just kind of the main recruiter that's in there. Okay. So then once they log in, you'll be able to go right into your dashboard. So now here on your company dashboard, the first thing is the training videos and some best practices. So you can go through, look at those best practices. A lot of times maybe one recruiter is the one who did the training. The other one has not been on the training yet. They can go directly in and watch all the videos. When you create your profile, you're going to hit the edit button. This organization name down to website, again, this is just that information. The candidates don't see this information. This is putting your information in, your contact, your email, but the candidates don't see that information in there. Your website's in here, the video chat link. If you're going to be doing video interviews, so there's good and bad about doing video interviews during a virtual event. If you do plan to do video interviews, have at least one person that's being the greeter to say hi to everybody, and somebody else that's running and doing the videos. Because you don't want to, if it's only one recruiter, you don't want to get caught up in video interviews during a virtual event, because it's going to look something like this. I have my camera in front of me, my two monitors. If I'm looking at you right here, you see I'm paying attention. But if I'm over here and I'm chatting with other employers, but I'm interviewing with you, the candidate's going to know that I'm not really paying attention because I'm not looking at you. Yes, I'm talking, but am I really paying attention? So just have multiple people. If you have 5 recruiters and each one is going to be doing videos, that's great too. Just make sure there's people there to be able to chat on there. You don't want to get caught up doing videos when you could be doing, and you're missing a bunch of other stuff as well. Your organization overview, again, this is what the candidates see. Again, very basic information. What do you want to get out to that candidate of why they should come work for you? These custom links, these are those 3 blue tabs that were on the front of the booth. So again, you could have websites, you could have about us. Some people now are using this as a webinar, so that if they want to have a group, we call it a group interview, or if they want to have an interview, or I'm sorry, any kind of webinar or anything, they put the webinar in there, and then they have the link in, and then they tell the candidates, hey, go click on our link, or they send the link directly to them. Social media can be set up right here as well. So now you can put all your social media in there. Once you do that, you just want to hit save. From here, you can see what your booth looks like. So you can now hit the booth preview, and you're able to see your logo. Make sure your logo looks good in there, your organization bio, your job vacancies. You can view this, view that information right there as well. See, you can put a video in there. You just can't hit submit resume because it's in yours. All right. So now, in some people, if they want to have another webinar, some people put it on top as well. But now you're able to see that information. From there, you want to set up your recruiters. If you're going to have multiple recruiters in here, you just click on the Add Recruiter button. When you go into that recruiter, you're going to set up their email and password. So they can come in, they can log in. They're going to log in through the same login thing with their username and their password, and that's all attached directly to the booth. If you were in the event, the previous event with NC Tech, you do not have to create a new booth. That the old login still works. You can still log in directly that, so you don't have to set everything up again on there. All right. And then these messages, these are the predefined messages. So instead of, candidates, they say the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and then you say the same answers over and over and over and over and over again. You don't have to do that anymore. You can create these messages and go put them right in here. This is also hyperlink. So if you want to send your website to them, a Zoom link or anything that you can. Now, if you do have 5 recruiters, the main recruiter, the video button in the lobby, in the event room is tied to that main recruiter. So if you have a 2nd, 3rd, 4th recruiter, you want to put your Zoom, GoToMeetings, WebEx, whatever you use, right? Whatever your company has, so you don't have any firewall issues, you put that information right in here in the hyperlink, so you can send that directly to them. All right. After you set up your recruiters, you're going to set up your job vacancies. From here, you're just going to add a job. When you go to add a job, you're going to have the title, the city, the number of vacancies you have, and then the targeted event. So this will be the NC Tech event. So like if you were in the previous NC Tech event, you're going to see that event and you're going to see the new one. Just make sure that it's checked in here so that you know that the job is live. Okay. Again, this is all real time. So if you have a job that gets added right before the event, or you hire somebody right before the event, you can go and uncheck that box so they don't have it in here. This is where you put your job description. Again, you can put videos in here. You can put links in there. You can put pictures. Again, you can make it as pretty as you want or as plain as you want. You can add as many jobs as you want in there as well. From there is the events. So when you go into the event as a company, you're going to be able to see your hiring room. Within your hiring room, you're going to be able to see a couple different things here. The submitted resumes. This is every resume as a candidate comes in. When they submit their resume, you're going to be able to see. You can then click on their resume to see, are they a good fit for the position that you're having. As soon as a candidate comes in, you see Jason is in my room right now. So Jason could send me a message, or if I like Jason and I clicked on his resume, I saw what his resume have, I can click on one of my predefined messages and send him a message. Or I can type a message to him. All right. So you see Jason's now typing back. I'm now having a conversation with Jason. If I'm the main recruiter in here and you see Jason is typing right here to me, so you know when he's typing back to me. All right. If I want to send him, Jason, I'm interested in your resume. I like what you had to say. Are you available for a video interview? This is where if I'm the main recruiter, I can hit this little blue tab and it sends the link directly to them. So now I can send that link. Or if I'm one of the secondary recruiters, I can come in here and send my Zoom link directly to them. All right. And then where it says show only my chats, this is where you could see if you have multiple recruiters logged in, you can see just your individual chats as a recruiter, or let's say you're a manager in there and you want to see what all 5 of your recruiters are doing. You could go in and look at all of the messages that are in here as well. So anybody have any questions regarding
Not sure. Steve lost his internet connection. I think Steve was going, any questions anybody has, be happy to answer any of those. I know we've had several in the Q&A in the chat. If you would rather do them there, you can do them there as well. I think that was
one of the questions was asking about, is there a deadline for job seekers to register? And there's not. The registration link for job seekers will remain live through the event. So what we find is a lot of people don't hear about the event as much as we try to get the word out there. There's always word of mouth, and the media likes to do a lot of promotion for the job fairs the day of the job fair. So we find that candidates and seekers are registering right up until 5 o'clock the day of the job fair. So there's no deadline there. For employers that are interested in signing up to participate, the sooner the better, because then you're in all of the communications that we send out. So next week, we'll be doing a press release, and we do get a lot of exposure. I'm thankful to our media partners like WRAL TechWire and the Triangle Business Journal and others who cover a lot of news around employment and the tech industry. So the sooner that you sign on as an employer, the sooner we'll be able to add your logo and add you to the list of participating employers.
All right, great. Can everybody hear me now?
yes.
Am I back? Okay, sorry. Internet's been going in and out of the office all day today. All right, so this is the last thing I want to show you. This is the Job Seeker tab. So this is after the event is over, you're going to be able to see every candidate that submitted a resume to you, as well as anybody who visited your hiring room. So you're going to have all that data. You can download their resume. You can leave notes about candidates in here as well. So if you like that candidate, you need to follow up, you can have that. You can also export all of the data. When you hit the export button over here to the right, it is going to export down here to a zip file in the bottom of your screen. All right, so you'll see here. All right, can you see that now? All right, where it says resumes and submitted. Okay, so here's the hard copies of all of the resumes that you're going to be able to see. And then here's a CSV file of all of the resumes as well. So you'll be able to see all of the resumes that are going to be in here. So you'll see all the resumes and all of the contact information of every candidate, that where they came into, and all of the jobs and everything like that as well. So any questions about reporting, about what they see during the event, any questions that you have?
Michelle, somebody put in the chat the approximate number of job seeker participants for the event.
Sure. Yeah, so I was typing an answer in, but I'll go ahead and just answer it on the call here. The job fair we hosted in May, on May 20th, had about 1,100 job seekers that were registered for that job fair. When we do in-person job fairs, we typically get about 500 plus registrations for job fairs in both the Charlotte market and a little bit higher in the Triangle. And those would be the in-person candidates.
And we typically see, as the hosting, the product that's hosting the events, we typically see those numbers. They really start to go up that last 2 weeks before the event. And generally we see those numbers sometimes even double the last 24 hours before the event starts. So that's when most people, and I know Michelle and the NC Tech team are going to be, that's when they really start pushing the marketing, the TV spots start running. So
yeah, and we'll be in touch with all of the employers, encouraging you all to post that you're participating in the job fair, and to encourage those that are interested in learning more about your company and job vacancies to come and visit you on October 14th at the live event. You can direct folks to our website to register as job seekers. As I mentioned, we'll be sending out a press release next week. And so we tend to see quite an uptick in exposure and registrations. The other thing that I would mention when you're working on adding job vacancies, that although this is a tech job fair, we have a lot of non-tech companies that participate and are hiring for IT positions. We have tech companies that participate and are hiring for marketing roles and customer service associates and accounting roles. So, definitely consider just, all the different types of jobs that you're offering, and not all of the candidates that register have an IT background. It's our demographics. Most of our data on demographics really comes from the in-person job fairs that we host, where job candidates will fill out short form, and about half of the candidates that come to the job fairs have a pretty extensive background in IT. A third of our candidates have more than a bachelor's, so they have a master's or greater. So we definitely get more of a seasoned employee. It's not just entry level. We do see some recent college graduates, but well over half of the attendees, the job seekers that come to our job fairs, have 6 to 9 or greater than 10 years of experience. So that would be another stat that I would share. We've got a little bit more time if there's any additional questions, if there's anything that on the platform that you'd like to see again, or address any questions about the platform, since our experts are on the line with us this afternoon. All right. Well, I know some of the folks that that are on the call participated in May, and so they're seasoned now at the virtual job fair platform. We're excited about some of the enhanced features that Steve, Jason, and your team have worked on. And I know that this has been a very busy time for you all. One of the segments of the tech industry that's very busy now through the COVID days. And thank you for taking time out of your day to participate today. And we're delighted to have you all as members and partners with us. Thank you everyone for patching in this afternoon. Again, just a note that our next virtual tech job fair is scheduled for October 14th. And now is the time to sign up. Please share with others that are looking for opportunities. It's a great resource for them to be able to participate and meet a good number of employers in one fell swoop. So thank you. Steve, did you have something else to add?
Yeah, it looks like there's one question. What are some helpful tips for first timers? And this is what I tell everybody. You guys are in the tech world, so it's a little different, but I tell everybody this is, don't be scared of it. Virtual is not, it's easy. So I put on in-person job fairs for almost 8 years before we developed the software for this. So, for me, I'm a face-to-face networking type. I like to be out, out and about. And switching to the virtual world was a little bit scary at first. But if you go in there and you really say, this is easy, right? When we developed it, not to try to be very difficult for either companies or recruiters. And if you think about it, some of the recruiters, this is their, or the candidates, this is some of their first times as well. But if you go in, the number one thing that I can tell you to do as a company is go in before the event. Set your profile up, look at it, make sure it works. Go in, for every single tab that works. If it's the profile, read all the best practices. If there's going to be another recruiter on there, hey, let's, get that other recruiter, make sure they're set up, that they're logged in as well. If you feel that your company, your organization might have a pretty strict firewall and you have a VPN on there, get with either Michelle or get with Jason on our team. And what we can do is we can run a test for you just to make sure that you don't have an issue on the day of the event. I mean, it's pretty easy. If you have a VPN and it doesn't allow you to go, you log out of your VPN and you can go in. But how do you know that until the day of the event if you don't go in and test that? This morning we had an event and it was the first one. It was the FDIC. They came in and they couldn't log in. And I said, is this the first time? They're like, yeah, we're just now logging in. I'm like, well, the event starts in 5 minutes. Do you have a firewall? Yep. I go, log out of your VPN, go into your personal computer if you said you can't. And they were able to get in right there. But they were stressed out because they didn't do it on the end. So go in, look at the thing, understand it. Again, it's chat. Every single person on here has been on Zoom. They've probably been on some other messenger on a platform. Chat goes back and forth on there. Another best practice is, again, if you're going to be doing video interviews and there's only 1 or 2 recruiters on there, I would set it up for after the event, not during the event, because if you get really, really busy on the chat, you might miss something on there as well. But if you have a line, right, we do a lot with the like accounting firms where they do meet the firms for the colleges, and they have a line. They have a greeter and they have the video people. So they have one greeter comes in every time somebody comes in, they start saying hi to them. And then if they are going to do the video, they send that link. So that person, recruiter, we'll say recruiter 2, is the one that's doing the video link as well, so that they have it. And just be there. If it's, it's an event, it goes for a few hours. If you have to, right? And some people are like, I don't want to sit at a job fair all day long. Well, do it in shifts. Maybe this person is for 2 hours, the next person is for 2 hours. Or, you have it, if you are doing something else, make sure that your volume's on, because you're going to know if somebody sends you a message, you'll hear the beep, the chime that they sent you a message. You're not going to hear when they come in the room. So you need to be able to walk. Again, if, we'll do it. If we're in an event, participating in an event, I have it on my other screen so that the job fair is open while I'm in there if I'm doing something else as well. But again, be there, be active. When a candidate comes in, introduce yourself to them. Don't just send out a video link. Candidates don't open that. If you say, hi, my name is Steve, what kind of questions do you have? Are you available for a video interview? Ask them first before you just start sending the video things out there. What we've seen is candidates don't open it unless you at least talk to them a little bit first. But again, you can get that information. Set up those predefined messages so that when you're there, so you don't have to type out the same thing over and over. Again, candidates say the same thing. You're going to have the same thing. Introduce yourself. Have a couple different intros that you can go, and you just hit that predefined message in it. Every time somebody comes in, let them know. Introduce yourself. Say, one of your predefined messages could be like, hey, go check out our job vacancies over on the, over in the booth. Because you might get some people say, well, what jobs are you hiring for? Go look at the booth. You don't have to send them something else as well. But most of the things that you're going to get are going to be something that you could set up in the beginning on there. So, besides, hey, your background is for this position, maybe you can't set that up ahead of time. But if all of a sudden you're getting the same questions over and over, you just go right back into your profile, create some new predefined messages during the event and come back, because then you can send those out.
Yeah, I would say that's really that's a really good suggestion, is to engage your visitors in chat. One of to be transparent, one of the issues that I saw when we did our very first job fair virtual job fair in May was that we had employers that I knew were hiring for dozens or hundreds of positions, and they only uploaded a few of the vacancies. So job seekers that went into their virtual job hiring, virtual hiring room, looked at what vacancies they had listed, and then if it didn't map to what they were looking for or qualified for, then they moved on. So definitely engage in conversation, and there might be other opportunities within your company, and you might not want to miss out on someone who might be a good fit for something you've got down the road too, if you took the opportunity to engage in chat with them.
Absolutely. Great point, Michelle. And you'll see that here are my 3, main positions that I'm looking to hire for. But I know I got this one here, and I also know I got this, but I don't want to post it. But maybe if that's the right fit for that person, you can say, hey, I also have this position as well, right? By engaging them and talking with them, maybe you have something else that you know is coming up, or maybe that's something that you didn't post.
All right. Well, I think that's it with questions, and again, thank you very much to Premier Virtual for participating today, and for all of our attendees who logged in. We will have a recorded version of this call, so if you want to go back and refer to any of the information that Steve went over, you'll have access to that. We'll send that out, and if you're not already signed up, we encourage you to sign up, and if you've got any questions that are related to the job fair or NC Tech, for that matter, just let us know, and we'd be glad to help you, and look forward to a successful event in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
Michelle.
Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.